Joining us on the Oakland County Megacast now is Dennis Wade. He is the director of the Pawley Lean Institute located at Oakland University. Dennis, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, give us some background information and some insight. For those that aren't familiar, what is the Pawley Lean Institute at Oakland University? What services does it provide on campus there at Oakland?
The Pawley Lean Institute has been around. This is actually our 20th year. It was established by Denny Pawley, who was a former executive vice president at Chrysler, an OU graduate, as well as one time an OU trustee. His focus was that if you could put lean curriculum into Oakland University and expose students to lean, and if you're not familiar with the lean terminology, think of it as the elimination of waste in process. Some people might call it continuous improvement, that students would be better prepared to find a job once they graduated. So he thought it would give them a differential advantage. The Institute itself is comprised of providing some support for some professors that are doing work in that area, but it is mostly student-centric. We have scholarships. We work on finding internships for students. We have some programs of our own that we run, including high school workshops, lean community service internships where we do some lean projects for community service organizations, as well as also doing some lean projects within the university itself.
So you mentioned how lean curriculum can help to teach students how to eliminate waste from industry, or that the lean concept helps to eliminate waste from industry, make industry more efficient for students as they're learning to become young professionals and get into their career path. How can a lean education, such as those of which is available at Oakland University, be beneficial to them as they're developing these skills?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. One, they learn the basic concepts, the terminology. It's very evident in manufacturing, it's evident in banking, it's evident in utilities, it's evident in healthcare. So if they're familiar with that, one, it helps them find a job. Secondly, what I think it does is that from a career perspective, it's a great way to learn about business, to look at the inner workings of an organization and their processes, and to make improvements and efficiencies within those processes. And if you think about it, there's a couple things that'll happen because of lean or continuous improvement. By taking waste out of process, you can improve quality. You can certainly improve margins because you've taken cost out of the business. Things along that line that are really what organizations are trying to do today.
So what are some of these processes that are being taught to students to help eliminate some of this waste in a variety of industries? Because this is an interdisciplinary approach. It's, as listed in the website, it's in the School of Education and Human Services, of Engineering and Computer Science, and School of Business, and more.
Yeah, so an operations management person that's on a floor obviously needs to know these concepts. Industrial and systems engineering folks that are getting ISE degrees are taking those lean concepts into their day-to-day work life because they work on process all the time. And if you're a human resource development student that has lean, many times you're going to work in an HR department with a local manufacturer or a supplier or an auto company. So you certainly understand your business a lot better if you understand these concepts.
We're joined by Dennis Wade. He is the director of the Pawley Lean Institute at Oakland University. With us on the Oakland County Megacast, you can learn more information about the Pawley Lean Institute and all of its workings to teach students at Oakland University these lean concepts by visiting oakland.edu/lean. That's oakland.edu/lean, especially in today's industry, Dennis, as we have witnessed the impact of supply chain issues, of manufacturing issues, certainly that are related to the supply chain, and a number of other issues, including staffing shortages that are impacting many different industries. How much more important now is it for students as at the university level in so many different disciplines to master some of these lean concepts to give the companies that they're working for after they graduate as great of a benefit as possible, but also to make sure that they're working efficiently and not getting behind on some of their projects, knowing they'll probably be a little more overloaded than they would have in the past?
Well, I think what we've been able to do is take in our curriculum, either exposing either at the undergraduate or the graduate level, these concepts so that as they take them back, one, they're going to find themselves more marketable. So students that have this experience have the ability um, to find jobs, whether it's in engineering or HRD or operations management. What we're also finding is that many organizations have now developed lean or continuous improvement departments within their organizations. And as you look at something as simple as how a healthcare industry had to address the pandemic, where their world was turned upside down, lean led that because they had to create processes on the fly. They had to make those processes efficient. They had to be able to reduce the bottlenecks that they were seeing. So we see that today, not just in manufacturing, but an industry where healthcare were really stood out over the last 2 years and where they had to face the challenges of the pandemic.
So it's not always evident where young people are going to go in an industry. Maybe they don't know what their career path is going to be as they're exiting high school, as they're entering college. So from your institute standpoint and from industry standpoint, when is the best time to begin teaching these lean concepts to students, and how does the Poly Lean Institute then take those considerations into factor as they provide this curriculum?
Well, what we'll usually see is we'll see students probably taking it in their junior and senior year. What the Institute has done is try to work with those students and placing them into internships. We also run our own community service internships where we have some partnerships with organizations outside of the university where we can put student teams into an organization like a Humble Design, Leader Dog for the Blinds, Fleece and Thank You, and they can actually get actual work experience by completing projects. Same as with an internship. You'll also find that many of our students, particularly from the engineering side of the house, they have to take a senior design project. Many times that will be a lean project they'll take. So having that coursework walking into those organizations is a real benefit. And what we really like to think is that, if you're working in lean or you've got a lean internship, um, you have the opportunity maybe to get hired by the organization that's you're currently working for. Minimally, you're able to truly enhance your resume as you seek that first job outside of college.
We're joined by Dennis Wade. He is the director of the Pawley Lean Institute at Oakland University. Joining us on the Oakland County Megacast, plenty of information on the Lean Institute, all the work that they do with students across disciplines at Oakland University, some of their work out in the community as well, and some information also on lean concepts so that you can learn more information about what they are and how they benefit industries all across the great state of Michigan and beyond. Oakland.edu/lean for all of that information. That's oakland.edu/lean. And I understand that the Lean Institute also is promoting some of these lean learning opportunities, and especially in engineering at the high school level. It's been doing that since about 2015. Can you tell us about the ISE program, or the Industry Systems and Engineering Department, and the program it's been working on with these high school workshops for roughly 7 years?
Yeah, what we've been doing is we've been able to gain some partners like AT&T, the Lean Enterprise Institute, Comerica Bank. And what they've been able to do or have supported us doing is taking high school students, bringing them on campus. Usually we try to run 3 sessions with them, a session that's on lean itself, where there's hands-on activities, a session where we look at plant floor movement of a product, as well as a session on ergonomics. So what we've been doing is bringing students into our engineering center, usually a half-day session on each one of those topics. And what we've also been doing with the funding we've been able to get from some of our partners is we've been able to cover the expenses associated with the school bringing the students here, which is primarily busing, also providing them lunch along those lines. But it's an opportunity, one, to expose students to some of the concepts of lean, what some of the career opportunities are, expose them to what Oakland University is like, because they're actually on campus interfacing with some of our students and professors. And it's just kind of a outreach program that we've developed over the last 6 or 7 years.
Joining us now on the Oakland County Megacast is Dennis Wade. He is the director of Oakland University's Pawley Lean Institute. More information can be found at oakland.edu/lean, oakland.edu/LEAN for more information. You mentioned AT&T as one of the partners in some of your efforts out in the community, including your high school workshops program that's been running since 2015. Recently, the Pawley Lean Institute received some additional help from AT&T, over $10,000 in a readiness grant from provided to the university's program specifically for human resource development students or HRD students. Can you tell us how that grant program A is going to help the Lean Institute, and B, how those Lean teachings then will be passed on to HRD students?
Yeah, what we've actually done a little bit is stepped out of our lean focus with this program.
Okay.
What we're really trying to focus on is getting students ready to get into the workplace. And so our HRD students take a mandatory internship class before they graduate. And we've kind of changed the focus of that class just a little bit so that we're also looking at personal career development. And what that really involves with is having those students sitting down and writing a professional resume. Also working with the students for what we would call an elevator pitch or a network pitch, so that as they're talking to an individual, they can tell themselves very quickly in a short period of time what strengths they bring to the marketplace, something they could use at a career fair, and they'll get pieces of where they actually develop that network pitch along with that resume. And then we're going to bring those students back for another session once that's completed, and they're actually going to sit down with an industry mentor and actually work on that network pitch and go through a mock interview with that industry mentor. So they're actually getting practice to help them find a job. And we think it just kind of adds to their ability to find employment once they graduate from Oakland University. And it kind of goes back to the Denny Pawley philosophy that what we really want to do is try to give Oakland students an advantage as they go into the workplace. We've spoken to Denny about this specifically. He supports this program wholeheartedly, as he was an HRD graduate as well, because he also sees that a student-centric program that is assisting them to find that job once they graduate is beneficial. So we've kind of stepped out of our lean focus a little bit because we just see such a benefit in touching the students that we're going to be meeting with and getting them ready with professional resumes, that networking pitch, and the fact that they've actually practiced it with individuals.
We're joined by Dennis Wade. He is the director of the Pawley Lean Institute at Oakland University. He's joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. More information can continue to be found on their website, oakland.edu/lean. That is oakland.edu/lean for more information. So important to learning some of these concepts, and also with an organization like this that is so focused on getting these students ready to enter the workplace, is mentorship. Can you speak to the mentorship programs that are available through the Pawley Lean Institute at Oakland University to help prepare these soon-to-be young professionals for entering a variety of different industries?
Yeah, we kind of do that a couple different ways with industry professionals. The first method we just talked about was that students will actually be meeting with whether it's somebody from General Motors or Chrysler or Comerica Bank or a Henry Ford Hospital, and actually working with them one-on-one with their networking pitch, sharing their resume with them, going through the mock interview, and actually getting some feedback. So I think that prepares them when they go into an actual interview or career opportunity. One of the other programs that we talked about earlier was that we put students into projects where they actually do a lean project for a community service organization. And with that, we put student teams in place, and those student teams are actually mentored by a professor as well as somebody from industry with lean experience. So they're getting it from both sides. They're getting it from the industry side as well as from the academic side. And the organization that we're working with, whether again it's a Fleece and Thank You or a Leader Dog for the Blind or Humble Design in Pontiac, gets the benefit of the student completing a project that they can implement that makes their organization more effective and more efficient.
We're joined by Dennis Wade. He is the director of the Pawley Lean Institute at Oakland University, with us on the Oakland County Megacast. all that information you need to know about the organization, about the programs within the Pawley Lean Institute at Oakland. It can be found at oakland.edu/lean, oakland.edu/lean, as well as additional resources for those both in these lean affected industries, in these programs at Oakland University, and for those in the general public to learn more about lean. You go to oakland.edu/lean/resources. They have information including definitions, some basics of the lean program and of these lean concepts, as well as a beginner's guide, tons of information on a variety of different different processes that are affected by these lean factors, including streamlining processes, eliminating waste, developing employees, and so much more. Oakland.edu/lean/resources for all of that information. Dennis, a few more minutes with you today before we'll say goodbye. Anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to know about lean programs, how they affect our industries here in Michigan and in Oakland County, or the Pawley Lean Institute's impact on students at Oakland University in a variety of disciplines?
Well, I think, students that take lean coursework are going to give themselves advantages, whether they do a minor or they just take one class to get exposed to it. The ability for those students then to migrate into internships or some of the community service internships we have, again, provides them more experience, makes them more marketable as they seek employment. We've been fortunate. We've had some great sponsors, whether it's AT&T, which has sponsored both our high school workshops, as well as the new program we talked about from a career development perspective. The Lean Enterprise Institute, which has partnered with us heavily with the community service internships, or somebody like Comerica Bank, who has also partnered very heavily with us in the high school workshops. So I think you're seeing a great opportunity for the Institute to partner with industry and bring tremendous benefits to our student population.
Dennis, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Tyler. Have a great evening.